Next guest, first found fame, of course, in S Club 7. That was back in 1999. Now Rachel Stevens is sharing everything about her life in the spotlight. It's a new book. It's called Finding My Voice, and she joins me now. It's so good to see you.
Oh, it's so
I
good
love
to
the
see
title, Rachel, because
Thank
I remember
you.
interviewing you way back in the late 90s and early 80s and early 200s. You were always the quiet one.
Yeah.
You're always the wee quiet one, and I understand now why you were, because you sort of felt, I'm not sure if I should be here.
Yeah, I just found it really... well, there was a lot of us, and I kind of... I was... I always used to find the interview process really nerve-wracking, and I was... Not so much when there was all 7 of us, I kind of could hide away a little bit, but, I always felt very, like, exposed, like, almost like I was going to say something wrong, like, very in my head, and I had so much to say, but I just couldn't access it all or articulate it.
And you were anxious?
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
I've always suffered with anxiety ever since I was young. And I think it was... I've realised as I've sort of gotten older through therapy, through questioning... I've always been so passionate about self-development and self-growth and always been so curious as to why I found it so hard to connect with people and open up and just allow myself to be vulnerable. And I feel very lucky. I've always had that curiosity.
Sure.
And through... always believed in therapy and talking...
ironically,
you were I've always found that so difficult.
I know, but you're way ahead of your time in that sense, and it does feel like you have found your voice now, which is great.
It couldn't have had any other title.
No, it's perfect. But back then, of course, you were the one that didn't have the experience that the others had, because they were all singers, dancers, they all had that grounding, and you didn't. And there was always that thing of, oh, you're the pretty one. There's that which indeed you are. You're gorgeous.
Well, thank you. I mean, I'm going to talk about it in my book, how I did grow up with that feeling of looks were so important. And, you know, it is a thread through our lives, isn't it? You know, everyone sees the sort of... we show all our best bits and we've got the filters and all of that. But, I grew up feeling that, a sense of that was what was most important. And the foundations inside, like being asked my opinions on things. You know, it was a generational thing as well. But, I didn't feel like I was very seen or very heard. And I kind of... that became my sort of armour.
No, I can understand that.
And,
but the thing about it was, and I remember it even at the time, thinking the sort of pressure that the 7 of you were under, because it wasn't just a band. You had a TV show. You were a brand, actually. I mean, I know we're going to talk about Brand Bacon later, but you were a brand, and like I said, the pressure on you was intense. And for somebody who's quite anxious, that's even harder to deal with, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really interesting dynamic, actually, being in a pop group, especially at that time, because we were very protected. Everything was done for us. We were all over the place. And, like you said, like, all the bands worked hard.
Yes.
But because we had that TV element, it was another added layer to... we were just 100 miles an hour all the time. Yeah. And there wasn't much time to just... sit. And it's hard anyway in life, isn't it? To just sit in the moment and go, look what I did. That
was, lot of what you say in here, I had no idea. Like, I didn't know, you'd been mugged. You were caught up in a shooting, just an innocent bystander.
That was a crazy few weeks.
That was horrible. And no wonder, you were diagnosed with PTSD. No wonder. But what you've overcome is remarkable. You should be really proud of yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I've always believed that whatever we go through in life, and we all have a story to tell, it's learning through it and growing through it and sort of being curious as to how you can see the positive side of things. And it's okay, but it's also okay to sort of sit in it and feel it.
No, of course, as a band and as an individual, you went through such a lot, obviously, with Paul dying, which was such a shock to all of us, but obviously to you who knew and loved him so much. And you did go ahead with a tour. I know there was like 5 of you went ahead with the tour. But that was almost to honour him in a way, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was never... We took a step back and
took
time.
Difficult decision,
but it was never... we never were not going to do the tour. It just took on a whole different life, and it became a tribute to him. And it was so special to bring it all back to the fans again. 25 years.
25 years, Rachel. It's astonishing. It is. You went on Dancing on Ice, you found your soulmate, and you've managed to navigate all of that, because your ex is always going to be the father of your kids. But you've managed to do that. I mean, again, that's a hard thing.
Oh, it's a process, like with anything. And I love the word navigate, because it's that. It's such a process.
Avoid the icebergs.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it's like somebody... I did a podcast yesterday, and they were like, it's like Laser Quest. Especially with kids, there's always things coming at you that... And they're always our priority and our focus, and keeping them safe in it all. And it's not easy, but I feel very lucky. Like, we've both... The kids are our priority, and we've had lots of sort of help and advice in the lead up to our separation, and we just manage it best we can, muddle our way through it, but with them at our forefront. And
it's a remarkable book. It says it's a story of strength, self-belief and S-Club as well. So if you're a fan of the band, obviously you want to read this. But honestly, it's like a sort of handbook for all of us. Aww. Because you've gone through ever such a lot that we can all identify with or understand.
So. Yeah,
so well done.
Thank you.
Well done to you, Rachel.
Thank
and
you so
it's
much.
out tomorrow.
Yep.
Happy publication day for tomorrow. And
So
congratulations.
lovely. Thank you.
It's always good to see you. And I love that you and Adam have got almost the same outfit on. I love
We're
that.
gonna start a band.
They were taking photos just then of the two of them together. It's great. Right, after the break, revealing what life